Hello, namaste, and welcome back to the brand new episode of Real Madrid Fan Club Nepal presents RMFCN Talk Show. So, after 2 years of gap, we are finally back and back with the bang because we will be joining shortly by our fellow Madridistas from different parts of the world. So, before introducing them to you all, guys, first we will have some words to our recent condition of Nepal, which has been affected by flood and landslide. So I hope everyone knows the situation right now. So uh, after continuous rainfall for 2 days, Nepal has been heavily affected. I hope everyone please stay safe and do not go out without any emergencies. So, without any delay, now let's move towards the introduction session. Firstly, I'd like to welcome here Mr. George from Pena Central de London. Hello, George. Welcome to the live.
Hello, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's our pleasure to have you in our live show. So, can you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yeah, sure. So, my name is George. I'm Spanish. I belong to the Real Madrid fan club, Central London, and which is a fairly young fan club, which was founded in 2018, and but is grown very fast, and there's is around 200 members at the moment, plus a lot of people that are that join us to watch the games, and it's very international fan club with nationalities from literally all over the world. Like any nationality that you can think of, then is represented in our fan club. And yeah, it's been great so far. We get together to watch the Real Madrid games in a pub in West Kensington, where we are very welcome and we feel like at home. And we go to most Real Madrid games away. So I personally, last time I was on at Manchester for the Manchester City Real Madrid game that last year we were lucky to go through. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, thank you, George. That was so nice of you. We'll get connected to you after a while. So let's move toward the another guest. So let's welcome Niko Laakso, and he's from Pena, Finlandia. So Niko, welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. It's an
Uh,
honor.
so
It's an
please,
honor
you
to be here.
also introduce yourself to our viewers, please.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, my name is Niko Laakso, and I'm the honorary president of Pena Madridista de Finlandia, and we are quite new Pena. It's established in 2019, so and we have uh, approximately 120 members here from Finland. The population of Finland is it's not that big, but we are growing all the time and trying to trying to watch the games all together and create an environment that all of the Madridistas in Finland can join and watch the games together and join the get-togethers with all the Pena members of our Pena. And yeah, waiting excited about this tonight's game and this talk. So
Yeah, thank you so much, Niko. We'll get connected to you after a while. So we have another guest, and he's from Bangladesh. Uh, so let's welcome Mr. Raiyan from Bangladesh. So Ryan, please introduce yourself to our viewers. Can you please check your sound?
Am I audible?
Yeah. You are audible now.
Right. So this is Ryan from Pena Madridista Bangladesh, the first official group of Real Madrid in Bangladesh. And we have started our journey back in 2011 June, and we posted a lot of screenings, more specifically in the UCL finals, uh, basically in Dhaka and around Bangladesh. We are officially recognized in 2019 by Real Madrid, and we usually host get-togethers in big matches for Real Madrid. We have around 400 official members. Not so big when we started, but currently we are growing very fast, and our members usually take part in Real Madrid matches, goes to watch matches in Bernabeu and other places in UCL and Laliga as well. So, looking forward to join with you guys in this show, and I'm very happy that you have asked us to join this show, and hopefully it will be a very good show, and we'll see a very good match against Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, sure. We all are hoping for that. And thank you so much, Ryan, for joining our show. It's a proud moment for us as well.
Thanks.
We have Swasti Sapkota, and she is from Nepal. She will be representing Pena Madridista in Nepal, and let's welcome her to the show.
Thank you, Sumit. And George, Niko, and Ryan, a warm welcome to you all to our talk show. So, I am Swastika Sapkota. I am Membership Vice President of Real Madrid Fan Club Nepal, or Pena Madridista Nepal. So, we started back in 2014, and our journey has been continuing and growing. We have now 539 official members in Nepal. So we're the only fan club that has over 500 members in Nepal, and we were officially recognized as Pena Madridista, I think, 2 years back. And the journey has been grateful. I think we host many screenings of important matches from La Liga as well as UCL, and we get a number of more than 100 people each time. So I think we have a really wonderful family, and I think that's all. I'm really excited for the game tonight. So let's see how it goes.
Thank you, Swasti, for your kind words. And it's time for me to introduce myself. I am Sumit Khanal, and I am the Vice President Wings of Real Madrid Fan Club Nepal, also the regional head of Kathmandu Wing. So I'll be your host for this show. Also, I'd like to tell you all that we are live screening the tonight's derby, and it is going to be held at Rusty Garden. You might have been seeing the post also in our Facebook, Instagram pages. We have collaborated with Ticket Sanjal for this event of live screening, and this particular talk show is also sponsored by mm, different companies and organizations here in Nepal, and I'd like to give a short shout out to them as well. We have Benchwarmers Nepal, Clickbait Sales, Rusty Garden, uh, Chiton Cake House, Kitab Yatra. Also, we have Chiton Tarewa Sekwa Corner as well. Thank you guys for making this live show possible. Also, this live show has been closed for past 2 seasons, but now we are officially on, and we will be going throughout the season. I hope you will be enjoying the show as well. So now, without any further delay, we will discuss the previous game, and that was against Alaves, and that was a nail-biting performance from Real Madrid at the death also. So, Nico, I'd like to go with you first. So, what's your say on the previous game with Deportivo Alaves?
Yeah, it was pretty good for the first 60 minutes, and then we probably trying to uh, take the leg from the acceleration, and until rest of the game was pretty tough after the substitutions. So it was pretty comfortable 3-0, and then it was pretty tough 3-2 game until the end, and then but individual performances were pretty good, I would say, but yeah, there is some work to do with the collective, and especially with the defending part of the game.
Yeah. Thank you, Nico, for your review on that game. So it was really a nail biting at the death because Real Madrid usually plays very differently when it comes to 80 minutes and afterwards. But that game was totally different.
Yeah.
Also, that was not expected, I think. So for most of the viewers. So I'd like to go with George also. So George, how was that game, and how did you feel when we
Hmm.
conceded 2 goals in 2 minutes?
Yeah. So, well, it was a very particular game in the sense that we scored in the first minute, and we know that particularly this season, it's been quite challenging for us to score the first goal. And I think they were talking that there was no goals in the first half of the matches. I mean, until the game with Alaves and maybe some of the game, but we so that most of the times, and particularly in Bernabeu, the most difficult part of the game is to score the first game because we know that all the teams wait in a very strong defensive position, and they play with that. So that made the game easy for us, I guess. Um, Plus, together with, I think, little by little, the new players with the new system, they are getting together, right? So, and eventually, I think we played very well. But in the second half, it's true that I think we relaxed once we saw ourselves 3-0, instead of keep pushing and being ambitious for to keep scoring. We relaxed and we took for granted the game and the victory, and that's what happens at this level. Alaves was completely um, non-existent until that moment, but when we let them grow, then they took their opportunity, and yeah, and there was uh, it was tough at the end.
Yeah, George. So I'd like to go with Ryan for the same question as well. So how was that feeling when you considered the two back-to-back goals, winning comfortably 3-0, and suddenly we were 3-2 at the last moment?
Right. It was a bit scary at the end because usually in this season, what George already mentioned, that we are struggling to have the lead as well in the first half. So we are doing very fine in the second half, but in first half we are very average team. We couldn't take lead, but in that game we took lead and we scored 2 goals, and we are 3-0 up. And instead of pushing for more goals, we started to be bit defensive and got relaxed. And Alaves was there always to take the chances. And after a few substitutions, I think they pushed a bit hard and scored 2 goals. And I was a bit scared, not gonna lie, because if we used to lose any points in that game, it would be tough for us for go for the league this season. So probably will be a very good match. We have a chance to shorten the gap against Barcelona this time. So hopefully we'll see a very good match today. And though there is some injury issues in Real Madrid, we'll love to take the 3 points from today's match.
Yeah, we all will be hoping for that because we will have to capitalize the rivals' loss, that was Barcelona's loss against Osasuna, and hopefully we'll reduce the gap against them. So
Right.
thank you, Ryan, for your review also. So here I am seeing the question from Susil Thaba. Since this is the first talk, so please talk about the expectation from the season and the young squad we have. So for this question, I'd like to go with Mr. George. So what is your expectation for the season and the young squad we have?
Wow. I mean, I guess we all have to have great expectations, right? Because we have an amazing team, and we are the current um, Champions League champions and the La Liga champions, and we just added Mbappe, which is probably the best player in the world. So obviously, the targets are very high, but I expect that little by little, once the players get to know each other and they adapt to the new positions and the new roles, they we we get some kind of it would get more smooth our game, and I expect we'll play well and be competitive and you know and reach finals and obviously win titles. I and have great expectations with Arda Güler and Endricky. Endricky, I think, is impressive what he's shown so far. So yeah, it's very exciting season, and I love to see. I'm very excited as well to see the progress of Camavinga in the midfield. Also, particularly Bellingham, that I believe that he's this season. I think he's already showing playing in a more natural position for himself as an offensive midfielder, as opposed to being kind of a false nine or false striker as he had to play last season. I think Bellingham playing as an offensive midfielder, he's gonna show like the talent that he is. So
Yeah,
I'm very excited about
yeah.
many of our players. Also
Yeah,
Valverde playing in the
there
midfield
are
as
there
opposed
are
to.
many young players in the squad, and they are already showing their potential to the highest. For example, you have just mentioned Enric, so who is so prolific, yeah, and Arda Güler also. So I'd like to go with Mr. Nico for the same question as well. So what are your expectations from the squad for the rest of the season?
My expectations are that we are going to compete with every title and every competition we are in this season. So we have large enough squad to fight for the titles, and of course, probably tactical game hasn't been so smooth in the beginning of the season, but it will take time because we have new players, new roles for the players we have had previous season. So lots of like Toni Kroos missing, it affects a lot to the build-up phase of the game. Different players have to take more responsibility in the build-up, like Fede, for example, is doing a lot of great things, but we don't have the pass master of Toni Kroos anymore in the midfield, so it's obviously affecting a lot. But game by game, I think we are doing better. The dynamics between Mbappe, Vini, Bellingham, and Rodrigo is developing all the time. So we are trying to probably now when Mbappe is injured, I think that we are going to go back to the 4-4-2 diamond midfield with Bellingham as a 10 and Vini and Rodrigo on top. So maybe we will get to see some flashbacks from the last season. Bellingham providing runs to the box from behind. So it's very hard to defend that. So, but yeah, expectations are high. Of course, we have lots of good players in different positions, and and especially the youngsters like Goulet and Enric are showing their potential in the beginning of the season. So it's of course it's good for the rest of the season. So if you can create many opportunities for many players as possible, it's good for the rotation and yeah.
Yeah, Nico. You have just mentioned that we are slowly recovering the void left by Tony Cruz. It's a difficult thing to do, but of course, Real Madrid are on the line to recover his void as well. So I'd like to go with Swastika for the same question. So, what are the expectations for the season?
I think the expectations are pretty high. So we've won Champions League and La Liga, and I think we have a fantastic team of young blood. Every player has their own, unique sense of style, unique sense of understanding of the game, and they deliver with according to their understandings. I think there are certain things that they can improve still, like defensive errors, as we've seen in the last game against Alaves. And again, I think players like Gular and Endrick have shown a great potential. And I think players like Rodrigo Diaz, they need a lot more time in the in the pitch. And I think improving certain things and certain tactics of Ancelotti as well, we can give a tough competition to our opponents and win the title this year as well.
Thank you, Swastika, for your review towards the expectations of the season. As we have mentioned the Tony Cruz things, he have left the uh, he have hang up his boots. So I'd like to ask Mr. Ryan about the Tony Cruz. So how gonna rest of the midfield gonna show up when he is not in the squad now? So how rest of the squad are gonna uh, run the show like Tony used to do?
Right. Tony used to, control the tempo of the game for Real Madrid. So it's a big miss for us, as Tony left and hung up his boots. But I think the midfield we have right now is capable of, take the place of Tony Cruz. I think each and everyone in the midfield, like Fede, Bellingham, Kamavinga, and Chouameni, have to take some more responsibility. And right now, I think Kamavinga, as he's back from injury, we have to take some more responsibility. And I think he's the most vital one this season for Real Madrid, as Tony Cruz is not there. And I personally want to go for with 4-4-2, as Cruz is not in the midfield. I think we should play four midfielders to fill up the gaps of Tony Cruz and go with two forwards. Either it's Vini Mbappe or Vini Rodrigo, or Mbappe Rodrigo, whatever it is in the front. We have Enrique as well, and it's absolutely very tough because he was an exceptional talent, played very consistently in Real Madrid for a long time, and uh, we're habituated to see Tony Cruz controlling the game. So someone has to take the responsibility. Bellingham is there, Kamavinga is there, Fede Valverde is there. So I think if everyone tries their best, I think it will be not much harder for a team like Real Madrid to uh, take the shoes of Tony Cruz. The first few games we have struggled, but I think game by game we are trying to develop and trying to make some passes from the midfield. And we need to, I personally believe strongly that we need to play four midfielders instead of three, which we are playing. And as Mbappe is injured, might see a new formation from Carlo tonight. So let's see how Carlo fill up the gaps of Tony Cruz, and also as Mbappe is injured, so how he you know have the front two or three. We'll see at night against Atletico, and it will be a big test for Real Madrid, as we have not a very good record in last few matches against the city rivals.
Yeah. It's a big shoes to fill. Tony Cruz has a lot of impact
Right.
since he has arrived from Bayern Munich. So here I am seeing the comment from Sogat Rai. What are your thoughts on Mbappe's debut season? How do you think he's coping with the expectation for fans? So Ryan, how do you think Mbappe gonna meet the expectation of fan? Because we had waited him since the past few seasons. There was saga always. Mbappe was coming,
Right.
and finally he has arrived this season. So what will be your expectation from him?
See, La Liga is a bit difficult from League One. It will take some time for Mbappe to cope up with this league, and he is a great player, no doubt about that. Already played two World Cup finals, one World Cup already, and it is his dream club, and I think he will give everything. And his idol also Cristiano Ronaldo, so he will try to fill up the shoes of Cristiano Ronaldo. Will try to replicate the performance of CR7, yeah, as well. And the first few matches was not that good, but I think he's coming into form lately. But unfortunate, he got injured and probably will be out for almost a month. So let's see if he comes back soon. And I am very much excited to see him throughout the season without any injury, and I am expecting at least 45 goals, as we have some more matches this season from Kylian Mbappe. And if Vini, Rodrigo, Enrique can come up with some good goal scoring opportunities, I think Mbappe will be there to take those chances. And if Bellingham used to perform like the last season, how he did in last season triumph with La Liga and Champions League, I think it will be a very good season for Real Madrid if everyone can put up their performance. And I'm very much excited because we have waited a long time for Kylian Mbappe to see him in the all white shirt. So let's see. I think Carlo will take care of that, and Mbappe, as he's that much talented, he will cope up very soon and will start to perform the way we wanted actually.
Yeah, of course, of course. Carlo is known for his best man management. Let's see what he gonna do tonight with the absence of Mbappe. So I'd like to go with Nico now. So Nico, so what will be your expectation when Mbappe will return from the injury?
Yeah, as when Mbappe signed for Real Madrid, my expectations were pretty high. But of course, last season wasn't like the optimal for him because of the pressure from PSG benching him, not playing that many games, full 90 minutes at least, and of course the injury in the Euro Cup was a pretty tough one, and the fitness levels of Mbappe wasn't probably the best shape. He wasn't in the best shape when the season started, but he managed to do goals, most of them from the penalties, but each game the the chemistry of the front three was getting better, and unfortunately he got injured in the previous game. But when he comes back, I think that he will help our team to win titles, and he will be, in my expectations, very important player for the big games when the season is turning to the spring and to the summer next year. So my aim or target or bet was like 45 to 50 goals this season, but let's see if he doesn't get injured anymore after this one. So let's see what the goal tally will be after the season. But definitely he will score plenty of goals and help us win the games, and by that winning the titles we are aiming for.
Yeah, of course, he's also dreaming of winning the Champions League, I think. So he has to be the prolific for what he does. So let's hope he will be in the best form when he returns to the squad. So thank you, Nico. Now I'd like to go with Mr. George for the next question, displayed here in the screen. So, George, looking at data between the two teams, Atleti have been the first team to score in 5 of their last 6 meetings. What is your opinion and how shall we tackle this?
Right. I guess this has probably much to do with being focused, intense, and concentrated. Um, and yeah, I and also I remember last year game against Atletico, which was the our last defeat in La Liga, and I think we played with five midfielders and just Vinicius alone, which speaks about how football is not really is not because you play with a lot of midfielders that you're going to have more control of the midfield. That's not how it works, because football is a team sport. So it's 11 players that have to be well coordinated. Um, and so for me, I think it's likely that Ancelotti is going to, maybe because with the absence of Mbappe, he's going to introduce a fourth midfielder, which could work. But I don't think that is essential. I think that if he keeps his system of 4-3-3, we can still dominate the game, and is a lot to do with the resilience of. Obviously, there's going to be a very hostile environment for us, as we are going to be the away team. But it's about the players' ability to help themselves to stay focused on the game and being intense and try to dominate the game. Um, I think that's pretty much the key. I trust very much. If we keep with Valverde, Chouameni, and Bellingham in the midfield, I trust very much those guys. And if he introduces, for example, Modric as a four midfielder, I think it's a good option. But I think it's also a good option if he decides to go with Hendrik. And obviously, it's a big challenge for Hendrik to make a debut against Atletico. So, but I think he's capable. I would probably bet that that Ancelotti is gonna start with four midfielders, and probably Modric due to his experience. That's probably a good choice. But we'll see.
Yeah, of course. Tonight we will be expecting there might be some addition in the midfield as well. So now I'd like to go with Mr. Ryan. Uh,
Right.
So, what are your impressions up to the day? So, up to the match week 7, how the team has performed and who has been impressive and who has not met the expectations? So, what do you think, Ryan?
Right. We have started off well. We won the UEFA Super Cup. Mbappe scored, but in league we are a bit slow to start so far. And if we say that the important player, I would say that it looked like Bellingham, how he played in the last match. He was missing as well, and Mbappe was in a bit of off form, and Vinicius usually starts to take off his form after September, and it's almost we are done with the September. So in last year when we had the defeat against Atletico, we tried something new. What we have seen in in George probably said that we had 5 midfielder and Vinicius alone in the front. But I think Real Madrid should stick which formation they will go in this season, because we have two goal scorer, not one. This season we had to play without a number 9 last season, but this season we have Enrique and Mbappe with us, and Rodrigo Vinicius was there as well. So we have some midfielder, though 𝐂𝐿 is not there, but I think it's a decent start for Real Madrid. We are lucky last time that we didn't drop any points against Alaves, but today I think we have to push high and we have to take the 3 points to keep the competition in the league. And Atletico Madrid was always a tough opponent for us. In last 5 league matches, we have just one win against this team. And if we take the overall stat from last 5 match, we just won one match in probably UEFA in Spanish Super Cup rather, and we had to go for 120 minutes to beat them. So they are always a very tough opponent for us, and the overall performance so far is decent from Real Madrid. I think Vinicius should take some more responsibilities, will contribute a bit more in the defense, and if Mbappe comes back from injury, if he flourish nicely, I think it will be a very decent and excellent season in Real Madrid standard, as Carlo is very experienced with this team. So hopefully the midfield will do good. I am highly motivated to see 𝐒𝐿 in the absence of Toni Kroos. I have said earlier that as well. So let's see how it turns out. Usually Carlo Ancelotti goes trophyless after the season he wins the Champions League, but I think this will be different story this time. Let's see.
Yeah. Wanda has always been the tough ground to play for.
Right.
I hope there won't be any difficulties tonight, and we will be able to reduce the gap with Barcelona as well. So thank you, Ryan, for now. Uh, I'm seeing the question from Biswas Lamisane. What are the key areas where Real Madrid need to improve as the season progresses? So I'd like to ask Swastika for the question. So what are the key areas that could be improved as the season progresses?
I really feel that we can improve a lot in our defensive aspects. So goals. I think that was one of our major problems last season as well. Uh, we really need. I think we really need to buy some, center backs or right back uh, this season. And after that, I think the team needs to build a momentum or a good chemistry. I think with the arrival of Kylian Mbappe, we can grab many opportunities, or we can even create many chances with like Valverde, Bellingham, Camavinga in the mid. I think, and Valverde has been really good. I'm really impressed by Valverde this season. So I think we can really use that to we can really use that to grab wins and points this season.
Yeah, of course, he has been superb. Also, Valverde is known as the engine of the team. he
Yeah,
runs he runs
absolutely.
90 minutes with the same energy. So, thank you,
I think it's
Swastika.
the perfect blend of Toni
Yeah,
Kroos,
yeah,
Casemiro, and Modric.
yeah. Of course, he has taken over the number 8 as well.
Yeah.
Let's see what the season brings. So, thank you, Swastika. With the same question now, I'd like to go with Mr. Niko. So, as the season progresses, what might be the key areas to be improved?
Yeah, the key areas for me are definitely the build-up phase of the game. Well, we need to try something new, because Toni Kroos controlled the midfield and controlled the whole rhythm of our game for so many years, that now that he isn't there anymore, and we don't have his kind of playmaker quarterback anymore in our team. We need to try something new, and I hope that we will figure something out with the players we have, and I think that Carlo Ancelotti will find some ways to fill the gap of Toni Kroos, and of course in La Liga the other teams are defending in the low block most of the time. So that's definitely the second key area. We need to figure out that how to attack to the box and behind the defensive lines. The last goal of Kylian Mbappe was so phenomenal that we need to do that kind of combinations more in between the lines of the defending team to create more space in behind. And I think that the third key area is the defensive phase of the game, the counter attacks, and also we need to figure out the height. Where are we going to press or not to press? We have to have more clarity for the whole team, that when we are pressing, the whole team is pressing and not just the individuals. But we have to be more collective on the defending phase of the game. So those are my three key areas to this season as it progresses.
Yeah. And Nico, as you know, we have remained undefeated for the past 39 games in La Liga. So, will that momentum be key for tonight's game?
Yeah, definitely. And we have last season we had Lunin, and this season we have the world's best goalkeeper Courtois again. So that will be the key area. I think that we have goalkeepers that can make the game savers when needed, and it builds the confidence for the whole team, and then that we have the faith that our goalkeepers are world class, and opponents are not getting easy goals for us. So I think that goalkeeping is one of the key areas for tonight's game as well.
Hello, George. Am I audible
Yeah,
now?
yeah.
So, what are the areas you think need to be improved as the season progresses?
All right, interesting question. So I guess it is a range of areas. First, like for the whole team to get used to play together, and the coordination about of the whole team, both for the offensive part and the defensive part, because football is a collective effort, and modern football is everybody has a responsibility, an important responsibility for the offensive part of the game, and everybody has to be involved for the defensive part of the game. So I presume that little by little will get better. Then there's quite a few tricks. For example, Mbappe, I think he's come with a very, very good attitude and wanting to contribute. But it is fair to admit that Mbappe is playing in a position that is not his best position, and the guy seems to be happy to make the sacrifice. Because he's the best position for Mbappe, where we've seen the best of him, is always playing more towards the left and having a center forward, like to keep to provide the space for him, having a center forward to keep the central defenders engaged. So for him, that's new, and so he's going to need some time to adapt to that. Let's see if he can adapt also to do what Benzema used to do in terms of contributing to the game creation a little bit more. So that's that part of it. Then an important part that I don't usually hear people talk about is the right wing. So because for many years we've almost played, when we've played with Valverde in the right wing, that meant basically playing without a right wing. And now we have Rodrigo, and I'm just hoping, and I think Rodrigo can be very important in the sense that, which is also a tough position for him, because as a right-footed person, he would be more comfortable on the left. But we need him to stick to the right, to generate those spaces for the midfield, for Mbappe, and I'm really hopeful that Rodrigo will, we kind of accept playing on the right, even though playing in the right, he's probably not going to be able to perform as well as if he could do in other positions. So the performance of the right wing, whether it's Rodrigo or what's his name, the Spanish guy that is injured, I forgot the name. Brahim Diaz, which is the other player that can be deep on the right wing. I think that position, it's can be key, because having those two, and we've seen this in these games, when we've had Rodrigo and Vini well open, that generates plenty of space for the Bellingham, the Valverde, and all of them to control the midfield. And that also, and it can be important today, because if the way to counter a good pressure is by spacing the pitch, and in order to space the pitch, we have to be kind of dangerous and in both wings. And the problem, I remember the games with Manchester City. One of the reasons why Manchester City could access that much pressure on us is because they knew that they didn't have to defend the right wing. We didn't have a right wing. We have theoretically Valverde, but in reality, Valverde was always coming to the midfield. So that helped Manchester City a lot with that pressure. So I'm looking forward to get either Rodrigo or Brahim strong as a right wingers, and yeah.
George. So we are now at the last segment of the show, and it's gonna be the lineup prediction and score prediction, which might be fun to do as well, I think, because prediction things are always gonna be good. So I'd like to first go with you, and here I am displaying the squad, so it might be easy for you.
Mhm.
So, what's your prediction for the starting 11, George?
So my prediction for the starting 11 is going to be Courtois as a goalkeeper, uh, Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger, and Mendy in the defense. Valverde, Tchouaméni, Bellingham. And I mean, there is just one doubt. And as forwards, obviously Vinicius and Rodrigo. And the doubt is whether he's going to replace Mbappe with Endrick, or he's going to leave that potentially for a second half, which I think it could be a wise choice. So I think my prediction is that he's going to substitute Mbappe with a fourth midfielder, and that being Modric. I think Modric is going to come in, and he's probably save Endrick for the second half.
Uh, yeah, yeah, and also please have your
The
say on
result.
score prediction. Yeah, goals.
All right. 1-2.
Okay, 1-2. Let's hope.
I'm
Whatever
gonna
the
say one
score.
two, and I'm gonna say Endrick is gonna score in the second half.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a big call because he might not be starting the game, but he's so prolific off the bench as we have seen in the past recent games.
Yeah.
So I'd like to go with Ryan. So Ryan, what will be your starting 11?
Right. I think George took a very wise decision to put Modric in place of Mbappe. I think that will be the case tonight, because it will be very risky to start Enrique in the starting 11 in that high tempo game. And I want to see Camavinga and Enrique in the second half to take the charge, and love to see Real Madrid take lead in the first half, and uh, almost the same 11. Porto will start Carva, Ruti, Militao in the left. Will maybe see Mendy in Chouameni, Fede Valverde, Bellingham, Modric in the mid, and Vini Rodrigo up front. So we'll go with 1-2 with Real Madrid, and both goal scorer, one will be Vinicius Junior, and another will be Jude Bellingham. Let's see.
Let's hope that, Ryan. And I'd like to go with Nico as well. So
Yeah,
Nico.
I have same kind of thoughts that the previous two, but maybe I need to fix something just to be a little different. So my lineup will be for 4-4-2 with the diamond midfield: Courtois, Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger, and Mendy as the defenders. Chouameni as a number 6. Fede, Valverde, and Arda Güler as 8. Bellingham as number 10, and Vinny and Rodrigo up front. So I think that Endrick, Modric, and probably Camavinga are coming as a substitutions for the second half to change the rhythm of the game.
Yeah, and any score prediction, Nico?
Score prediction 1-3.
Okay, thank you, Nico, for your prediction. Let's hope whatever the score will be, so we might win this game and we will be able to reduce the gap with Barcelona. That's what all we have wanted, I think. So I'd like to go with Swastika for the starting 11 prediction and score prediction here as well.
So my prediction of lineups are pretty much the same as Ryan and George, and I think the score will be a 2-1 or a 2-2 draw. We can't say that for sure, but I really want Vinicius to score tonight because I think he gets a lot of booing and he really needs to step up and show his game and earn that respect. So yeah, I think we're gonna win tonight.
Let's hope for the win. So we are almost at the end of this show. I'd like to ask you all guys. So how was your experience coming to this live and sharing your experience and sharing your thoughts, your insights towards the game? So how was the experience? I'd like to go with Royan first.
It was terrific. I think meeting with fellow Madridistas around the world is always a very good feeling, and hopefully we'll see us more often in future as well.
Yeah, yeah. We are so proud that you have joined our show. So thank you so much, Ryan.
Thanks,
for
thanks. It
showing
was a
up,
pleasure.
and I hope we will be connected for the next shows as well. Also, we'll be expecting that you will invite us in your shows as well.
Sure, sure, sure. We have a
So,
podcast called 9248. We usually do it just before the game. We talk about the laugh and the tactics before the game. So we'll have these more in this season as well, as we have more matches this season. So probably you may get invited in future as
uh,
well.
yeah, we'll be hoping because we have invited you. So also we'll be expecting to talk in your podcast as well. So I'd like to go with Mr. Niko. So how was your experience coming and sharing your experience towards the game?
It was really great. I'm honored to be here. It was nice to talk with fellow Madridistas around the world and catch up before the uh, derby. It's always an important game for the Madridistas and yeah, keep in touch. It was really nice to be here, and hopefully we can do this again at some point.
Yeah, thank you for your valuable time, Nico. So you are here representing Finland as well. So I hope you will be good at there, and all the best to your penas as well. So I'd like to ask the question for Mr. George as well. So how was your experience coming to this show?
Great. I mean, very exciting to see that there are Madridistas all over the world. That's quite impressive. Yeah, that's very exciting, and so thank you for having me. Always a pleasure to talk about football, to hear other people talk about Real Madrid, and looking forward for the next opportunity.
Thank you, George. We are so proud that you showed up, and we'd like to wish you all the best for your penas in Central London for the rest of the season. So, best of luck for that as well. And also, very thank you. You have been so amazing throughout the show. All guys have been amazing. Nico also very amazing. Ryan so amazing. Thank you so much. So, last but not the least, I'd like to ask Miss Swastika. So, how was your experience?
I thought it was great to be back after 2 years. So I don't. I think the guys don't know we used to host talk show before, okay, 2 years back also, but we stopped due to some issues. So it's great to be back and catch up with other Madridistas from all around the world. I think it's a privilege to share the screen with you guys, and all the best for today's game and all the best for your pen also.
So thank you so much, Swasti. It was great having you as well. You have always been important to this family, and thank you guys. Thank you so much for your valuable time. I hope we'll have this kind of meeting for the next time as well. And I would like to wish you guys all the best for your penas also, and also for tonight's game. Let's hope we'll smash them in their own home and we'll come out with all the 3 points. So thank you guys. Thank you so much. We'll be joining for the next time. And thank you for all the viewers. हजुरहरू सम्पूर्णले आफ्नो अमूल्य समय खर्च गरेर हाम्रो लाइभ हेरिदिनु भएकोमा धन्यवाद। र आशा छ आज रियल मड्रिडले एथलेटिकोलाई हराएर हामी चाहिँ लिगमा बार्सासँग 1 पोइन्टको मात्र फरकमा बस्न सक्यौँ भने इट विल बी भेरी नाइस फर अस एन्ड थ्याङ्क यू सो मच फर जोइनिङ दिस stream and for all the time you have given to RMFCN. Again I'd like to say that आज हाम्रो रस्टी गार्डनमा बेलुका स्क्रिनिङ पनि हुँदैछ. So if you guys are free and if you guys are able to go there, please you can go there and watch the game with fellow Madridistas. So thank you so much. It's time to end the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it as we were back after 2 long years. So thank you. Best of luck for the game. Hala Madrid and